Good morning, everyone. It is Friday. It is Friday. Listen, I'm glad to be here this morning with you. You're in the Pill Method Club. This is how to pay off mortgages in 7 years. And we got some fabulous information for you. We got some people online already. Jared, how are you doing this morning, sir?
I'm doing great, Don. How you doing?
Excellent, man.
Awesome. Well, happy Friday, everybody. Welcome to the Pill Method Club, the Pill Method Room. In my opinion, the most impactful room on Clubhouse. You're going to come away from today's room with tangible insight into a new way of thinking about amortization schedules, interest rates, interest cost. And this is so relevant right now because it's all over social media. It's all over the news, how the housing market is having the highest interest rates we've ever seen. And this room is going to leave you walking away empowered about those interest rates and feeling like, you know what, this is still something that I can accomplish in terms of buying a home, because you're going to understand how to pay off the right amount of interest at the right time to save yourself the most interest cost, which is going to take a 30-year mortgage and slash it down 20 plus years. So if you're new to this club, I want you to click that greenhouse at the top and make sure you're following the club. And then also read the about description so you can get insight into what the P, the I, the L, and the L stand for, and how this room is going to show you how to save 75% of your lifetime interest cost. So today's room is going to be going for 2 hours. And not only is it just going on Clubhouse, but it's also streaming on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter. So those that are online with us, we really appreciate you being here. And we want you to end with us during the 2 hours. So if you have questions, go ahead and type that into the chat, and we will make sure we address your questions if you're on Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, or YouTube. And if you're in the Clubhouse room and you want to see these examples live on your screen, you can go to your iPad, your desktop, or your laptop, go to the browser and type in ice10kvideos.com. Again, that's ice10kvideos.com. And what that will do is take you to Don's YouTube channel, where you'll go ahead and click the panel that says live, and you'll be able to see Don live in the studio, pulling up examples and numbers based off the questions that are in Clubhouse or on the other streaming platforms. And we want this room to be extremely interactive. The more questions, the better, not only for you, especially with these crazy interest rates that are happening, and you really wanting to understand how can I make those interest rates work for me versus against me. You want to raise your hand and ask about refinance, about your mortgage. You can ask about car loans, especially since we have Kelly on stage, who is a expert when it comes to getting the best deals when it comes to your cars. You can talk about student loans, and you can also ask about credit card debt. Anything that accrues interest, we want you to ask those questions, and Don will put the examples on the screen and walk through how you can save the most interest cost, so you can take that interest cost that you're spending to the bank and redirect it to your kids' inheritance, to investments, to family vacations, to that new piece of property you want to own. So definitely make sure to share this room. Click that share button in between the chat and the scissors, and share, because this is super important to the community, especially with high interest rates being cast upon the housing market right now. So before we go into moderator introductions, I'm going to have Don introduce himself and break down the pill method and what you're going to get out of today's room. And while he's doing that, we'd love for you to share the room. Or if you have a question, get on stage, beat the queue, so you can get your question asked early and get your answer prioritized first. So that being said, I'm going to pass the mic to Don.
Good morning, everyone. You are in this club is this room is called How to Pay Off Mortgages in 7 Years. I am the founder of Pill Method International. My name is Don Daniel, and I've been doing this for 16 years, telling people how they can eliminate tons of debt by canceling interest. You don't need more money to get out of debt, folks. Get rid of that idea. What we really need is to pay less interest. And if we just use a strategy called interest cancellation, by learning how to read and understand an amortization schedule, we can then eliminate that interest by disrupting the bank's timing, which makes it impossible for them to charge you that interest. And because it becomes impossible to charge you the interest, more of your money, the money that you already have, more of it goes to principal, less goes to interest, so that you can live an enhanced lifestyle. You don't have to cut back on lifestyle. You don't have to live like a hermit. You don't have to not go anywhere, not do anything, cut up your credit cards, eat beans and rice and sell pizzas at night to get out of debt to get out of debt faster. No, you don't have to do any of that. You can live well, save money, and pay off all of your debt. That means your 30-year mortgages, student loans, credit cards, everything in an average of 7 to 9 years. We're going to be showing some examples of how interest cancellation actually works and how powerful a tool it is, especially when you plug everything into our opportunity cost calculator that does all of the math and tells you how much money to move, what month to move it in, what day of the month to move it on, which loan to attack, and we're going to figure out for you how much interest you actually saved with that one move. So it will set you up for your next financial move. Listen, folks, stop paying all of that interest. Save, and then we're going to track how much interest you save. And then we're going to talk to you about how you can take that money that you saved in interest, how to develop your own family bank with money that formerly was going to the bank. Oh my goodness. I can't wait to get into this today, Jared.
Yeah, and it's so relevant. I'm hearing everywhere like high interest rates. How can the government do this to us? And I'm just like, man, I really wish everybody could understand the pill method and why this should actually be an opportunity versus not an opportunity. But my name is Jared Albertin. I've been in tech for over 15 years, really passionate about helping people break in the tech space, the metaverse, the NFT, and the crypto space, but also supporting rooms that create generational wealth like this room right now. So if you're interested in learning more about those subjects, check me out on Clubhouse, Instagram, Twitter, or LinkedIn. And again, want to implore everybody to share this room and to come on stage and ask a question. All right, so up next is Kelly.
Hey, everybody. Good morning. My name is Kelly Saunders. I am an independent automotive sales and leasing consultancy owner. I have been in the automotive industry a little bit more than a decade. In fact, next month makes 11 years. I focus on financing, leasing, wholesaling, cash cars, fix and flips, long-term rentals and short-term rentals, as well as auto equity lines of credit and corporate lines of credit. As a consultancy owner, I seek not just to provide the best possible car deal for you, but also the proper education behind how to best acquire that vehicle and maintain that vehicle and pay on that loan, which is why I am here supporting Don 10K. So with that, if you would like to contact me, kelly10k.com or kellysellscars.com. Thanks.
All right, 10K, are you free to do a quick intro?
Super good morning, guys. How are you? I'm here with the Royal too, so this is normally the party, as you guys know, but I'm here to support and endorse what Don is doing because I completely believe in it. Most importantly, I believe in his mission to empower every homeowner or everyone that has a loan to cut down on their interest saving. So that said, I'll be in the background until later. Back to you, Jared. Queen Kelly was good.
All right,
Hey,
all
bro.
right. So Don, I'm going to ask that if we don't have any questions right now, I'm going to ask the question that I think everybody in the audience and everybody streaming on YouTube. And by the way, if you want to stream on YouTube, go into the chat and follow the instructions listed out in the chat. You just go to ice10kvideos.com. That'll take you to the YouTube channel. Click the button, click the box that says live, skip the commercial, and you'll be able to see the examples live on the screen. So I'm going to ask the elephant in the room that I think the world is wondering right now. With extremely high interest rates going down, how can the pill method, or what kind of approach can we take to take those high interest rates and still be able to afford a home and make it a situation that is actually helpful versus hurtful? Would love for you to break that down on the screen. And then as he's doing that, please come up and ask questions about refinance, mortgage, or any other situation you have. The more interactive this room, the better, I promise you, not just for you, but for everybody else. But Don, I'd love for you to break that down for us.
Great, great, Jared. Listen, folks, I want to talk to you a little bit about from a different perspective because Kelly is here. Kelly actually flew in to Huntsville just a few days ago to help one of my clients buy a luxury car. And so I wanted you to know how we did that and how all of that came together. And it's an amazing story. But folks, we have how many people do we have in the room? We've got 27 people in the room. There's only 2 shares. Folks, please help us to get this information out. It doesn't cost you anything to share this in the hallway. Go down to that button that has the arrow pointing out of that square. Click that and share this room right now, because we're going to teach you some fabulous information on how Kelly helped to negotiate buying a luxury car for one of my clients, and how we decided to finance that thing and save that client the most amount of money. And you'll be surprised at how much it added on to paying off their mortgage and everything else. Miss Kelly, tell us about that. Tell us a little bit about that as we get these shares up. I need to get the shares up to at least 10 right now. So listen, you want to learn how to buy a luxury car and not add on to your debt significantly. All right. Even if you borrow the money, oh man, watch what we do here. Miss Kelly, what happened there?
Well, you know what? I think the best part of what happened is that our mutual clients, understood that they needed a team, right? They understood that they only knew what they knew, but they didn't know what we knew. And so they enlisted our services. They hired us to be part of their team. And so lovingly at the dealership, we started calling ourselves the dream team, right? Because when you have Don Pill Method Daniels there telling you about, hey, listen, it's okay to go out and buy a luxury car. You don't have to hold that from yourself. You don't have to limit yourself from doing that. It's okay. And it won't really change much in your financial outlook. That was amazing. And so Don called me. He said, Kelly, I got a client. They're going to call you. And they did. We did the consultation. And I was asked, hey, I love all the information you gave me, but it's a little overwhelming. Not sure I could do it myself. Can you come to Alabama and do this for me? I said, I sure can.
Okay.
So I ended up in Alabama, in Huntsville. It was an amazing experience.
Mhm.
And our client did try initially to get the best car deal that they could.
So what happened? What happened when they tried to get it for themselves, Kelly?
Absolutely. So they had gone to the dealership, test drove the car, because that's step one. Always drive the car first. Make sure it's the right car for you, because everything past that is pointless if the car doesn't feel right, drive
Mhm.
right, if you feel uncomfortable in it. Then they had a trade as well. So when they looked at the numbers, right, because you and I were numbers people,
Right.
they looked at the numbers for their vehicle, the dealership was trying to give them $2,000,
Oh
a
wow.
little bit more. Let's say it was $2,500.
Mhm.
And then they were selling the new car for $10,000 over the MSRP, which is the manufacturer suggested retail price. And they said, oh, okay. And they did ask, they said, hey, can you work with me on the trade? The dealership said, go and sell it privately at Carvana,
Wow.
because you'll get more there. And then he said, okay, can you work with me on the price of your car? He said, I'm sorry, but the price is the price. We don't haggle. We don't negotiate.
What kind of car are we talking about, Kelly?
It was a 2022 Mercedes-Benz GLE 350
Mm.
4MATIC. It was the all-wheel drive version.
Okay.
And he sent me on over the pictures of the paperwork that the dealership had given him. And I said, oh, no, this is not going to work.
Okay, Kelly.
And so I ended up in Alabama. Well, by the time everything was said and done, 15 sheets of paper later, our client was sitting right next to me, and he did not have to say a word at all. Ended up getting the car for not just at MSRP, But we also got his trade added into the car deal, and instead of just the 2,500, they actually matched what CarMax was going to do anyway. So he didn't have to go down the street and continue this rigmarole. They gave him the full, I believe it was $4,200 for his car.
Wait a minute, Kelly. Wait a minute. They just didn't just give it to them. Listen, folks, we got 10 shares. You get it up to 15. Kelly, I'm going to let you go step by step and I want you to go blow by blow what you did to that dealership that my client could not do to get that price down on that car. Folks, you want to pull out your notepad right about now and start listening to this, because you'll be able to do some of the same things. But if you don't want to, I need you to hire Kelly Sells Cars and she'll come in and negotiate a deal for you like none other. So Kelly, blow black. So listen, we're up to 13. Listen, folks, I'm vamping here. I'm vamping. So as soon as we get to 15, Kelly is going to go into what she did to get this done. But Kelly, I need you first. We're at 14. We're at 14. We're almost at the 15. Hey Kelly, I need you to you the folks to know, how do you know what you know? Can you give us just a few seconds on how you know what you know, and then go into how you negotiated this thing?
Absolutely. So the long and the short of it is, I have been in the automotive industry in retail sales for May will make 11 years, so a little over a decade now. Master certified in sales from Kia Motors America. I am also I have my sales license out of the great state of North Carolina. I have also been an auto damage claims adjuster for Geico, so I know how to evaluate vehicles, both new and used. But new cars are easy, right? There's never any damage on those. It's always the used cars, because there are a lot of cars out there that have clean Carfax, but it's not really clean. They took it someplace else and didn't report it, so it's not showing on the Carfax, but that vehicle probably has some damage, and if it does, I promise I can spot it.
Okay.
So that's a little bit about who I am.
All right. Well, folks, we're at 14. I need one more share. And then Kelly is going to tell you blow by blow how she took down the car dealership who said, no, we can't not come down. We don't need to negotiate. The price is the price. We're at 16, Kelly. Go ahead. What did you do to him?
Alrighty. So right now we're in an unprecedented time, not just with mortgages, right, and housing, but also with automotive. Vehicles are just, lack of availability means that they can charge over for their vehicles. So I leveraged the best way to buy a car. The best way to buy a car is not at the dealership, it's at home. So the part that I didn't mention earlier is that I did negotiating in the back end between multiple dealerships. And so I reached out to a few of my friends in the auto industry, and I said, hey, do you have any of these? And he said, yes. So one was in Atlanta, one was down in Birmingham, Alabama, the dealership in Huntsville, Alabama, of course. And then there was another dealer that was a way outlier. It was in Ohio, and they sell their cars for MSRP. Now, I asked our client, I said, are you opposed to getting a car from, way out the way? And he said, absolutely not. He's definitely not opposed to it. And so I received several deal sheets. I asked for the deal sheets. Now, most dealerships are not just going to go ahead and give you a deal sheet, right? As a automotive consultancy owner, they extend that professional courtesy to me. And I go ahead and leverage that at the dealership closest to home. Now, it is more advantageous for the dealership closest to home to work the best car deal possible, because they want to see that client, they want to see you back for service. The money that dealerships make is not in the sale. They make the money in the service side. And so if they give you a great experience in sales, the likelihood that you'll return for service increases by 56%. So when I got the numbers from Birmingham and from Atlanta, the Atlanta dealership was very, very close to MSRP, but they weren't quite there The dealership from Ohio was at MSRP.
Mm.
And so now I had the leverage I needed. And I showed them the numbers that I got from the other dealerships. And I said, hey, listen, these numbers don't make sense that you're presenting. I said, your out the door number is close. However, your monthly payment numbers are way off.
Mm.
Now, I wasn't concerned at the time about monthly payment because our clients had a pre-approval. So I really wasn't as concerned at that time. However, when you see that the dollars don't make sense in doing the math, that tends to mean that something extra is going on. There's something shady going on. And I'm never okay with that. And so we worked the numbers over and over, leasing versus financing, versus out the door, stroke a check and get the car right away.
Right.
And so we decided that the best possible price was attached to a finance deal. So we go and we agree on the financing now. They originally had their out the door financing done. They had it in a separate bank and they were going to do that. But I thought, what if we give the dealership the opportunity to earn the business?
Mm-hmm.
And they said, well, we got to get Don on the phone. I said, is Don even going to answer the phone? I said, it's Saturday. He said, I don't know, let's try it. And we got Don on the phone. And then the magic really happened. So we were on Zoom, our client, his wife. So the two of them were on Zoom. I was on Zoom. And so was Don. And Don worked some amazing magic. I called it hocus pocusery because it just did not make sense what he did. And then he shared the screen. And I said, what? I said, we're getting everybody a Mercedes. We're getting everybody a Benz. Everybody gets a G-Wagon. Let's do it. So, Don, please go ahead and share with everybody.
So what we looked at, folks, we had two interest rates. Okay. One was a lower interest rate at a term. The term was 70. Was it 72 months? Yeah, 72 months.
4.9 at 72 months and 5.9 at 84 months.
Okay. And then once we did the numbers, folks, and put it into the opportunity cost calculator, and I've told people this before, Kelly, that that you want the longest term possible, and a slightly higher interest rate is actually going to end up saving you money. So when we put all the numbers in, it came back that 84 months at the 5.99 interest rate was the better deal for this client. And without seeing the numbers, there was no way people would choose that because they automatically are drawn towards the lower interest rate. So the reason why we took the higher interest rate is because the principal payment, because every time you have a loan, you've got some money going to principal and you have money going to interest. And the lower interest rate, the principal payment is actually higher. And folks, when you're trying to pay off a loan in 2 or 3 years, you're attacking the principal payment. So if you can if your principal payment is around $500, you can say, okay, I can get rid of one whole payment if I prepay that $500, if I pay it early. But when you lower the interest rate and you lower the term, you take that $500 payment and you turn it into $550 or $600 or even $650. So now it takes a lot more money to get rid of one payment when you're thinking about prepaying or taking a 84-month loan and we're turning it into 24 to 36 months because of the way the P.I.L.L method attacks these loans. I'm telling you. So that's what happened. So now when we put it all in, now they were going to be paid off on their mortgage and their credit cards and everything else, Kelly. It was what?
6.8 years.
6.8 years. Okay. So now we're putting in a brand new, what kind of car was it?
2022 Mercedes-Benz GLE 350 out the door with taxes, tax fees, everything was $65,000.
Okay, now here's the other thing. How much did they pay down on the car?
They ended up doing zero down.
What? Okay, so they ended up doing zero down, taking the higher interest rate and the longer term, and they were already going to be paid off on. And you saw their house, okay? They live in an upscale neighborhood, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, so they live in an upscale neighborhood, and they have a custom built home, and they're going to be paid off on everything in 6.8 years. When we added the car in, it went from 6.8 years to what, Kelly?
7.8.
What?
I know, my mind was blown too. So what in the world?
7.8, folks. And this is what we're talking about. When you understand how to read and understand an amortization schedule, when you have a computer system that figures everything out for you, you can make these kinds of deals, especially if you have a dream team on your side. See, what we've been told about how loans actually work. You know, I've got it in my, Kelly, I've got it in my book here, and I'm just underlining stuff in my own book. And here's what it says, what we're going to go over this morning. I noticed that when I attempted to explain it to others, there was no language to describe how this process of debt elimination worked. The language was important because people resist what they don't understand, and most people have been taught that there are only 2 or 3 ways to eliminate debt. Things like changing your budget or refinancing and living an austere lifestyle in which you deprive yourself of all things fun now so that you can enjoy life later. I knew right away that being able to explain my method was going to be necessary to demonstrate that what I created was not just another variation of what was already being taught. The fact that you can live an enhanced lifestyle and enjoy life while eliminating debt was paramount. A general rule of thumb says pay more money, get out of debt faster. I realized that I didn't need to pay more money. I just needed to pay less interest. So, folks, that's what we're talking about. How can we take what we've got and pay a lot less interest? And we're going to get into that more, but I need to tap back in with our moderators and see what's going on our stages.
Yes, Don. So it looks like we have a question from Sin, and she's at work right now. So Sin, I'm giving the heads up. You're up next.
Hi.
So,
can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Yes, we can.
Okay. Good morning, everyone.
If your service isn't too bad, we'd love for you to kind of read off the question you have in the chat, and then if Don has follow-up, she'll ask you additional questions.
Okay, great. Good morning, Don.
Good morning, Sin. How are you?
I'm doing well, and yourself?
Excellent. Thank you.
Okay, great. I just had a question. So I purchased a 2-family home last year in New York City, and I closed with a rate of 1.375. But the only catch is that the home has to remain as your primary residence.
Yes.
For the life of the loan. That's the catch.
For the life of the loan?
Yeah, unless I refinance.
Right.
Right. So I plan to buy more properties in the future.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know of like any loans where they don't require the home to be listed as a primary residence? Have the occupancy requirements?
You're going to move out of that house and turn it into a income producing property?
Not necessarily, because I'm already producing income because I rent one side of the house.
Right.
I actually wanted to keep it, but still purchase more properties in the future.
Okay. Well, now there are some non-owner occupied loans, like a DSCR loan, like a debt service coverage ratio loan.
Okay.
But you can't live. But you can't live in the property with that loan.
All right. You mean that second property, right?
Well, you can't do it. It can't be owner occupied. So the owner cannot live in the residence at all.
That's what I was looking forward to. I didn't want to live in. I wanted to just rent it out.
There you go. So that's that. If you want to do something like that, that's one option. Getting the debt service coverage ratio loan, because they look at the property, not at your credit score. They don't look at your ability to pay. They look at the property's ability to produce income. That's what they look at.
Okay, got it.
Okay.
Okay,
All right.
great.
Debt service coverage
Thank you
ratio
so much.
loan. And we have people in the room that can do those loans. I'm one of them. But our
Okay.
main loan officer is Kenyatta Butcher. And she's
Okay.
off today because she's in Texas doing her thing in Texas today. So listen, hit me up on the back channel. And even though I could do the loan for you, but listen, she is the official lender in the P.I.L.L Method Club. So we hit me up and I'll make sure that you get her information, and then she'll be in touch with you and see how we can get you worked out on that loan.
All right. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
All right, not a problem, not a problem. And then once you get that loan, how would you like to be able to pay off everything in an average of 7 to 9 years, cutting your interest cost, not your interest rate, but your interest cost by 75%. Therefore, you can gain that property, gain the same property at a much lower interest cost, take the money that you would have spent in interest and buy more property with that money.
Yeah, that's the goal.
There you go. There you go. Thank you for bringing your question. Do you have any other questions for us this morning?
At this moment, no, no other questions. Thank you so much. Thank you, Jared, as well, for getting me up here.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you so much for the questions. And Don, for those in the audience that are wondering, how can they work with you and your team to figure out like the month, date, and year that they can be debt free across all of their interest, interest creating loans that are out there? How would they reach out to you and your team?
Listen, you want to go to ice10klive.com. It's right at the top of the page here, ice10klive.com. And once you do that, you can click on the button that says get a savings and earnings report. All right. And if you're online, you can actually see that. Get a savings and earnings report. Once you do that, follow all of the directions and fill out the form, the financial form, and someone from my office will get a hold of you and set you up with a consultation. That way you can know the month, day, and year. You can be debt free on everything. Listen, don't hold anything back. Put it all in. We know that the average family has 13 or 14 different debts. So listen, the more, the better. And people don't understand that either. We are showing you something that completely goes against everything you've been taught. Get rid of everything that you ever thought you knew about lending and incorporate this new disruptive information about how to get rid of debt. You see, I'm going to read a little bit more out of my book and tell you why that's important. But once you do that, folks, then you'll know the month, day, and year you can be debt free. We're going to go over the interest savings and how you can become your own family bank with those interest savings. So I can't wait to hear from you. So get on there, get your information, and learn how you can pay off all of your debt in an average of 7 to 9 years. Back to you, Jared.
All right. So if there are any other questions in the room, feel free to raise your hand and come on stage. This room, we got an hour and a half left. It goes by really fast. So we want to get you in the queue and answer any questions that you have. But Don, if there are no questions online or in the room, what would you like to address today regarding interest rates and how the P.I.L.L method works? You got a ton of examples. So which example would you like to share with the audience?
Listen, I've got an example there, but do we have a couple of new moderators? Let's go ahead and let them do their thing. And I've got a great example here.
All right, man. Are you free to introduce yourself? Please unmic it.
Man, not am I afraid. But you can Remember, King, the last time I tried to speak in the room, they just treat us Android users badly sometimes. I did everything. I went to the audience, I reset, I deleted the app, and I still couldn't be heard. So with that said, King Ice, man, I'm always so inspired when I come into your room. I learned something this morning, Mr. Don Daniel.
What's that, sir?
Elon Musk has Asperger's.
That's correct.
Man, so you brilliant minds do some brilliant. Shut your mouth. Dang. And Queen Kelly, I have to always be conscious now when I use Queen. Queen, especially. Some ladies don't want to be referred to as Queen. So, Kelly, Miss Kelly, man.
No, I'm not built like that. You can use Queen all you want to.
Thank you, Queen. I appreciate that. When I came into the room, you were talking about the automotive piece and how the profit comes from the service. It's just the brilliance in this room, and more important, because I know people on this stage, is priceless. I just want to land my plane with saying I am honored to be associated with you, 10K, and a couple of others who are doing this 10K challenge. Go deeper, you all, into what we're doing to make a difference in the world and most importantly in our community. Ice, you are the man. I'm Brian Franklin, and I approve that message, and I'm done speaking. Bam.
All right. Listen, Bam just brought out the fact that I do have Asperger's. And listen, let me read just a little bit more from my book. And I also want you to know, folks, because I have ADD and Asperger's, I did not read my first book all the way through until I was 46 years of age. And that book was As a Man Thinketh. And when I read that book, it started to change my life because I began to think differently about who I am and what I can do. And it's just a little book. You know, if you go online and look up As a Man Thinketh by Mr. Allen, once you take a look at that book, it's not a very thick book at all, but I had such a feeling of accomplishment. It is almost overwhelming that I actually read a book all the way through from cover to cover, underlined and everything. And a guy who didn't read a book till he was 46 actually has written a book. I want you to listen to this part. By God's grace, a guy who once got C's and D's in math was able to craft language to help the technology for this new form of debt elimination to be understood. I later worked with a software company that created an interest cancellation app that clarifies how loans work and digitize a budget to identify more variables than you ever knew were possible. I grew tired of seeing people's lives ruined by financial fires, of paying unnecessary amounts of interest. Helping people understand interest cancellation became my lifelong mission. So that's how I went from saving lives to helping people save money. You see, folks, for 17 years, I was a firefighter in Michigan. And when I discovered this, that I had a talent of looking at amortization schedules, I took that and worked with some people. But when you come up with a new technology, and Bam can tell you, when you come up with a new technology, the language to help people to understand that technology comes later. Somebody is in charge of putting that language together. And it fell on a guy who got C's and D's in school, who did not graduate from college, that didn't read a book all the way through to his 46 years of age. It fell on me to craft that language because it didn't exist anywhere. Even to this day, 33 million titles on Amazon, and only one book out of 33 million titles teaches you how to read and understand an amortization schedule and teaches you how to defeat it. Now, I don't know. People say God has a sense of humor, and I think that's funny. That a guy who never graduated from college, who didn't read a book till he was 46. I said, Don, I need you to write a book that's going to help millions of people understand that they don't have to have lifelong debt. And the way that we're currently being taught is absolutely inefficient. So let me give you an example of the efficiency that comes from understanding understanding how to read an amortization schedule. And so we're going to put that on the screen right now. And this is a client of mine who came to us with millions of dollars in debt and says, what can we do? All right, I'm gonna give you the overall, and then we're going to drill down a little bit deeper. All right, so we have two loans here. All right, and the first loan you see, and listen, you want to see this. Everybody in here that's online, listen, we're stuck at 19 shares. I can't get going until we have at least 25 shares. I got to get it up to 25 shares. We got 44 people in here and 19 shares. I'm getting ready to tell you how a guy who has millions of dollars in debt, and we're going to show you how he saved almost $1 million in interest working with us. And we got to get those shares up to at least 25. Come on, folks. If you want to learn about this, get the shares up to 25. Share this with others so other people can come into this room. Hit that little button that says, oh, there we go. It's starting to go up now. Hit that little button that with the arrow coming out of it at the bottom. And then let's get it up to 25 shares. We're up to 20. So I can go into this thing and tell you how I did it. So I'm going to show you what he was going through, and then I'll get into while he did. And I think we'll be up to 25 shares by then and get some more people in this room. So on this one loan, in 2 months, he paid it down by $7,374.92. Now, this is a real estate investor. Okay, is a real estate investor. He's making about $40,000 a month, and I'll show you that on these properties and how much he's paying in it, how much his mortgage payments are. But he paid $4,609.08. We're up to 22 shares. We need to get it to 25. All right. And on this other loan, all right, he paid 37 months. In 37 months, he paid it down by $99,795.91. But look at the amount of interest that he paid. $222,000 in interest on this loan just to pay it down by 90. Folks, that's $300,000 paid out. $300,000. Now, why didn't he care about that? He didn't care about it because his tenants were paying for the mortgages. And he didn't care about it before until he read my book. When he read my book, I got a call from him. He says, I want to know more about this because I think I'm paying way too much interest. We're at 25, folks. We can now I can really start flying into this thing. So we're going to get down in here and I'm going to show you that after 60 months, I said, now once you're on these loans for 60 months, do you realize you're going to pay it down by $409,000? This is going to be your equity. $409,592.65. That will be your equity. But guess what you have to pay to get that equity? $472,167.35 in interest just to get that equity in 5 years. $472,000 paid out in interest in just 5 years. So here's what we told him, folks. I'm going to go down and show you what's going on here. Instead of paying out $472,000 in 5 years to get out of debt, the bank wanted him to pay an additional $1,123,195 to pay off the $2,236,000 that he owes in 21.9 years. Guess what he's able to do? Only pay out $243,000 and pay off everything in 4.9 years using his current budget. And he didn't have to touch a dime of the money that he's going to put into reinvesting, not one dime. Okay. How are we doing that? Now I'm going to break this thing down. I'm going to break it down for you so that you can see what was going on in the background. So we actually have an analysis that we do for all of our clients who come in. All right. So when they put their information in, it comes up like this so we can put it together for you. All right. P.I.L.L Method International. This is a savings and earnings report. And we take the information from the savings and earnings report and put it on a one-page document so it's easier for the clients to read and understand. So here's where we're going to start. Over here, over to the left, where we have $2,236,000 in debt. Okay. All right. And so now we have 236,000 to a total of $236,376. Okay. Now here's what we're doing. We've got $14,696 in payments on these loans. All right. We have a base income, all right, of $57,000, all right, a month. We pay $14,000 in debt. That means we have other expenses at $36,000. So this, so he was taking some of that, most of that $36,000 and reinvesting it. But do you see here this $6,500? He says, Don, that's the money I put into an account so that I can do maintenance and repairs. The rest of this money, I need to be able to go ahead and what do I need to do? I need to use that other money to reinvest. I don't want to use it to pay down the debt. And I said, you don't have to. Let's take a look at what we can do with this $6,500. So here's what we looked at, folks. By putting the numbers in, the program, the bank's program wanted him to pay $1,123,195 in interest. He's going to end up paying $231,468 in interest with us. I want you to see this number. This is this interest savings, $891,726 by using the opportunity cost calculator. That's a 79% interest savings, 79% off. Can you imagine going to the bank with a P.I.L.L Method coupon and saying, yes, I want to borrow your money. I don't want to change my payments. I don't want to change my budget, but I want to pay you 79% less interest. That's what you could do with this program. Okay. And because of that, I need you to take a look at this middle section where he's going to pay $231,000 in interest instead of the $1.1 million that the bank wants. For you to pay that kind of interest and do it the bank's way, the interest rate you would need to have an interest rate of 0.67% to pay that little amount of interest over the time that he's going to have these loans. A 0.67% interest rate, less than 1%. This is the amount of interest that you pay with us if you let the opportunity cost calculator explain to you what to do and give you proper instructions on how much money to move, what month to move it in, what day of the month to move it on. Here's how we did that, folks. In his account, all right, he has about $100,000 built up because of the money he has on the side to do maintenance. I showed him how he could take small amounts of money out of that $100,000 that he has in that account. So let's take a look let's take a look at one of these mortgages, and now we're going to break it down even further as to what he was doing. So we're going to go down here and take a look at this SBA loan. Okay. All right. The payment is $8,704. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and bring up Brett Whistle. We're going to change screens. And share a new screen. All right. And we're going to put that information in. Payment, interest rate is 5%. Okay. And the, let's see, the payment is $5,992. Okay. And then we'll take
Hey,
a look.
Don,
Yeah.
one sec. We don't see your screen. Might need to share it again. Try again.
All right. I'll do that. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right. Okay. You can put
Here
it
we
up now.
go.
Sometimes I just get so excited. I don't set it up properly for you, man. And listen, man, that's Talik on there for you this morning. Talik, how are you doing, sir?
I'm doing good. How about you?
Excellent, man. Excellent. Thank you for being there with us today, running the back end for us. All
Happy
right.
to be here.
So we got that at 5% let's see. All right. Now let's see. This is, I think it's 300 payments. 300 payments instead. We're going to break that down and calculate. There we go. So we have a payment. We have a mortgage of $1,024,991.80. Okay, that's what we're doing, and we have a payment of $5,992. All right. So now we're going to scroll down here and take a look at what we can do here with this loan. I need you to take a look at now. Let me make these numbers just a little bit bigger. All right. So when we do that, we have payments of $1,721.20 in principal. Look at these interest payments. $4,000 in interest monthly. And this is a guy who is cash flowing big time on these properties. Okay. Cash flowing big time on these properties. So if you add up all of the principal and all of the interest for 1 year, look at this. We're going to take a look at column 3 and column 4. And we're going to take a look at all the principal we pay down in 1 year. $21,134.37. And in interest for the first year, $50,000. Folks, that's $71,000 all day. He's got to pay out $71,000 of his hard-earned dollars in 1 year just to pay the loan down by $21,000. That's what I mean by interest cost. The interest cost to move the loan from point A, where it started, to point B just 1 year later, the interest cost is $50,769.63. Why? Because we made 12 monthly payments. And every time he made a payment, every single month on time, he had to give the bank over $4,000 of his money to do that. So I said, well, why do that, sir? What if you did something different? When I look at an amortization schedule, I see something different. All right. I see what you could do. Now, if we pay this down by $21,134.37, here's what I asked him. Do you have to pay this money in 12 monthly installments? He said, no. If you had it, could you just give it to the bank on line 1 and pay it down to here in 1 month? He says, well, yeah. And I said, could you get it out of that money that you have in the bank? Listen, we're going to do a little math here. I'm going to put this on the screen. Okay. Could you get that money out of the bank account, that your reserve account that you use just to do maintenance on the buildings? You got about $100,000 in there, making 1/10 of 1%. just waiting around for something to go wrong so you can fix it. What if we borrowed $21,000 out of that at $100,000? You still have almost $80,000 in the bank to do repairs. He says, yeah, I guess I could do that. All right. And by doing that, we're not touching a dime of the money that you're bringing in every month to reinvest in other properties. Is that correct? He says, yes. So here's what we're doing, folks. We're going to we're going to put in how much money we started out with. All right. $24,991.80. Okay. And then we're going to subtract the money, the cumulative principal, $21,134.37. So we're going to subtract that money. $21,134.37. It equals, oh, look here, $1,003,857.43. Exactly what we have on line 12 of this amortization schedule. So he says, you mean if I took that money and didn't pay it over 12 months, I just paid it all at once and got it down to here? What happens to all the interest payments between line 2 and line 12? Folks, they are canceled. You don't have to pay all of that interest because you gave the bank the $21,134.37 that they were looking for over 12 months. You gave it to them in 1 month out of an account that you had just sitting there making 0.1% interest. So I said, now once you take that money and put it on the mortgage, I want you to see something. Instead of it costing you $50,769.63 to move the loan from point A to point B, you did it for only $4,270.80 instead of 50 grand. Now, sir, what can you do with the $46,579.38 you just saved? Because you got the same amount of equity, the $21,000, you got that equity, but you didn't pay 50 grand to get it. You only paid $4,000 to get it. So with that interest saved, what can you do? He says, I can invest that because I used to count that as the cost of doing business. And now I don't. For the first time in his life, he's now realizing the benefit of understanding interest cost, not just interest rate. So I'm going to stop right there and get a drink of water, Jared. I got to get a drink on that.
All right, sounds good. While you're getting a drink, I see Kelly and Credit Guidance will come to the stage. We'd love to unmic and just let people know about who they are and how people can get. So Kelly, we can go first.
Hey, good morning. Good morning. Thanks for having me. I'm Kelly Russell. I'm the owner of Self-Care Holistic, which is the e-commerce and retail locations with warehouse locations in Wilmington, Delaware. I'm also here in support of the room as I'll be meeting you all for Don's amazing event next month in Nashville, Tennessee, where I'll be handling registration. Thank you for having me and hope everyone has a wonderful weekend.
Awesome. Credit Goddess, are you around to do a quick introduction? All right, she might be away for a bit, but if you're new to the room, make sure you click that greenhouse at the top and follow the club. And then also make sure you click on Don's profile to the left of me and follow him as well as following 10K Cards, Ben, Coffee, Kelly, and Credit Goddess. You're always curated by the people you follow. And these are all amazing people to follow on Clubhouse. Also, if you want to see the examples live on your screen, go into the chat. I've posted instructions a couple of times, but I'll just verbally give you the instructions one more time. Go to your laptop, your iPad, or your desktop. Type in ice10kvideos.com. They'll take you to the YouTube channel, choose the panel that says live, and you'll see Don in the studio breaking down these examples. You can even see him getting a drink of water. If you're in the audience on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, or Twitter, please type in your questions in the chat. If you're in the room, please raise your hand, come on stage. We have an hour left in the show. So the more questions, the better. The interaction helps the audience understand, but more importantly, you as the person that asked the question will get really valuable information for your specific financial situation. So with that being said, Don, if you're hydrated, I'll pass the mic back to you. Also, last thing I'll say is thanks to the 25 people that have shared the room. Love to see that number go to 30, 35. We appreciate everybody in this room so much. And we just want to make sure that we get this information out to the community so they can understand how they're spending so much money on interest cost and how they could divert that information back to the kids' inheritance, back into family vacations. So help the people that follow you by clicking that share button and sharing this room in the hallway. We all appreciate it. Sharing is caring for sure. And we look forward to answering your questions. All right, back to you, Don.
All right, folks, listen, we got a little bit more going on here. I want you to understand that by doing this, we're going to show you now what happens. We're going to cut to the chase. What happens when we pay off? I'm going to put this back on the screen where we've got, look at this interest that the bank wants on this thing. Okay. I want you to see something here. Even though it's 5% interest, the bank wants $772,000 in interest on this loan. $772,000 on a $1,024,000 loan. Folks, that's not 5%. This number is not 5% of this number. It is actually 75.377% of that number. We're paying 75% more interest than we need to. And it's accepted. Why? Because that is what we've been conditioned to do. Give that money to the bank. All right. And when you try to tell people that they don't need to, because it goes against everything they've ever been taught, even though they can see the numbers, cognitive dissonance sets in, and it's hard for people to even believe their own eyes. They'll say, for all this time, you mean I've been paying all of this interest and I didn't have to? All I would have to do is take some money out of the bank and put it towards the principal, and I would save a ton of interest. Listen, folks, we're not done with this thing yet. Let me show you what we've got here. All right. So I want to show you that he takes $21,000 out of the bank and applies it to the debt and saves himself $46,000. So let me show you a little something here. So we took $21,134. Okay, $21,134. And remember, he's putting out of the rents that he's taking in each month, he's putting $6,500 in this account. Okay, that's for maintenance and repairs. Maintenance and repairs. So I said, if you took that $21,000 out, how long would it take you to pay yourself back out of the natural percentage of your rents that you're already putting in the bank? $6,500. Watch this. We're going to take the $21,134. We're going to divide it by $6,500, and it comes to 3.25 months. 3 months, 1 week. 3 months, 1 week. It's going to take him to put that money back into his bank account. And I said, in 3 months, could you take that $21,000 out again and apply it to the debt and knock off another $40,000 in interest? And almost another year off your loan? And then in 3 months, do it again. And in 3 months, do it again and do it again until we got to change screens again. Oh boy, this is getting exciting. Could you keep doing that, sir? Using the money that you had intended just to keep on the sideline, all right? and keep investing and keep doing that until you're paid off in 4.9 years, saving $891,726 in interest, and then take that money. You're going to say you were supposed to be out of debt in 21.9 years. Okay. So now you're going to be out of debt in 4.9. What could you do with that money that you didn't have to pay in interest and you invested that money over the next 17 years that you would have been in debt if you had just continued in your old plan? You can take that money now. Oh, Lord. Just the money that he was paying on this debt, not the money he's already reinvesting, right? This is additional on top of that. By using the money that used to go to the bank, he can turn that into $9,699,756. That is the money that used to go to the bank in interest. Folks, it's not the extra money that we're paying that's the crime. You know what the crime is? And Bam can tell you, it's the money that not $891,000 will not make for him because he gave it to the bank. That's the crime. Over 17 years, he could turn that into over 9 million additional dollars because he didn't give that money to the bank. Oh, that just gets me so excited every time I go over this. Does anybody on stage have anything to say about what we just broke down here? Anybody?
Don, did you have some coffee this morning? You are fired up this morning. How exciting is it for someone to help someone else save money that they're already paying and get this fired up? I need some of that coffee alternative that you're on.
You mean the guarana?
Yes, sir.
Well, listen, folks, that doesn't get me excited. Actually, the guarana calms me down so I can focus. So,
oh, wow.
Yeah. So when you have ADD, you take a stimulant. It actually calms you down so that you can focus. If I don't focus, I hear everything. I get distracted. I got all these sensory inputs that come in, but I can when I take a stimulant of some kind, a natural stimulant in this case, I'm able to shut out all of those other ideas and focus on what I'm trying to share with the people. And in this case, Kelly, we're talking about not paying all of that interest anymore and taking that money and building your own bank with that money, an additional $9 million over and above. So if he's making an additional $9 million, how many millions does he already have that he's investing over 30, the $30,000 a month that he's getting in, that's over and above his payments? How many millions does he already have by investing that money into other properties? Okay. His net worth is tremendous. I can't even tell you how much it is because of confidentiality. If I told you, if somebody heard me in Huntsville, they would know who this is. Because everybody knows who this guy is. Okay. So, but now he can have an additional $9 million that he wouldn't have. Why? Because he would have given that money to the bank. Bam. Oh, he's on the other line. Listen, this is amazing. 10K, you in the house, man? I'm just excited. Listen, folks, do we have any real estate investors in the audience that would love to raise their hand and find out more about what we're doing here? Because I can break this down even further.
I have a question for you, Don.
Go right ahead, Kelly.
So as the interest rates of everything are raising, everybody's freaking out.
Yeah.
Could you explain a little bit how that may work to your advantage over a lower interest rate?
Oh, yeah, I did go over that. I did say that earlier today, didn't I? All right, so let's go ahead and we're going to share a different screen and put that on. And folks, if you want to see this, go to ICE 10K Live. ICE10Kvideos.com, ICE10Kvideos.com. So you can see this next example where we talk about how a higher interest rate is actually better than a lower interest rate if you are attacking these loans. So we're going to put in, we're going to get rid of this, and we're going to duplicate this tab, bring this tab up, and we're going to put in, let's put in oh, I don't want that. I want this. We're going to put in a 400,000. All right, sorry about that, folks. let me go ahead and fix that. All right, so we're going to put in a $400,000 loan. Okay, 400,000. Things are more expensive these days, Kelly. Okay, and we're going to put it in at 3%. We can't get that 3% rate anymore. It's gone. Okay, the interest rates are up over 5% now. Okay, so here's our payment. At 3%, we have a payment of $1,686.42. Now, Kelly, since you brought this up, I need you to help me out. Hey, do you have any idea of where you live now? Do you have any idea of if I had like a 3 or 4 bedroom house, would I be paying for rent? Do you have any idea what they're charging for rent in your area? Yeah.
In a 3-4 bedroom,
Mhm.
be about 2,500 to 3,000 a month.
See, here's what I need you to understand, folks. Keep things in perspective, because when you have a higher interest rate, I need you to keep things in perspective. Nobody wants to pay more money. And what you're looking at is the wrong thing. Compare it to the rents in your area. All right. So in Kelly's area, you're going to pay $2,500 to $3,000 for a house this size, that at 3% interest, you're going to pay $1,686.42 for. Right? 1686.40. So you're still well under what you would pay for rent for the same size house. So we're going to duplicate this tab, and then we're going to take this we're going to take the loan up to 5.25, 5.125. Okay. 5.125. And now our new payment, instead of 1686, our new payment is what? $2,177.95, still under the $2,500 to $3,000 you would be paying if you rented the same house. Keep that in mind. So don't let these higher interest rates scare you. Just keep in mind what it would cost to rent the house. Okay, so go ahead. It's 5%. So what? It's not 3%. So what? It's not 3. Okay. What we were going through was historically low interest rates. These interest rates now are becoming normalized. This is more normal at 5.125. But even with that, you're still under what it would cost you to rent. Am I making that clear, Miss Kelly? All right. If you're saying something, you're muted. All right. So here's what we're talking about, folks.
No, I was trying to get out of the back channel. That back channel will lock you up for about 5 minutes.
It will lock you up. That's okay. That's okay. I know you're sharing. I know you're helping to get the information out. All right.
No,
So
absolutely. I just don't know why this back channel is so difficult to get out of.
I don't know. We got to do something where you can hit one button and come back. Listen, we need to offer that. All right. So the next time they have a town hall on Clubhouse, listen, can we, if we're in the back channel, can we just push one button to get back? All right, here we go, folks. Here's what we're talking about. Look at this payment. $1,686.42 at 3% and $2,177.95. Okay. So about $500 more, about $500 more. So listen, folks, if you can afford the payment, keep this in mind. If you can afford the payment, the higher interest rate is better. Let me show you why. All right, so we're at $400,000 at 3%. Let's take a look at how this loan breaks down on payment number 1 and 2. If you make your payment of $686.42 in principal, $1,000 goes to interest. Next month, $688.14 goes to principal, and the interest now is $998.28. But your payment stays the same. The configuration changes from month to month, but the payment stays the same. So here's what we're talking about. If we made a payment this month on this mortgage, this is what it would look like. The principal payment for next month is $688.14. Kelly, do we have to wait till next month to give the bank this $688.14?
Absolutely not.
If we had it in our savings account, could we pull that out, put it on top of our mortgage in the same month, $688.14, and all of this money would go to principal?
We could.
Yep, we could do that. And if we did that, would we be paid down to line 2 on our amortization schedule in just 1 month?
They don't like that.
Yes. But we would, wouldn't we?
Absolutely.
And our next mortgage payment for next month would actually be on line 3 of this schedule, wouldn't it?
Absolutely.
What just happened? We just got rid of one whole payment for only $688.14. And the $998.28 on line 2, we just eliminated, canceled that interest we don't have to pay. Now that's at the lower interest rate. You got these numbers burned into your mind here, Kelly? $688 we prepaid to get rid of one payment, correct? We're going to take the same loan and put it at 5.125. And I need you to take a look at payment number 1 and 2 now. Look at your principal payments. $469, $471. So Kelly, if I was going to eliminate one payment, would it be easier to come up with the $471.62 or the $688.14 to get rid of one line?
The 600 to get rid of one line.
Which is easier, the 600 or the 400 to come up with?
What would be easier?
Yeah.
The 6 for me.
What?
To get rid of the one line?
Right, but I can get rid of the same line with $400.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Okay. See, folks.
I'm just going to get rid of the big number.
All right. Well, see, now you can. So, but the big number is on line 2. And so, if I can get rid of line 2 with $471, why would I want to pay $600 to get rid of one line? Now, here's where it's going to start to make more sense for you, Kelly. You ready?
Ready.
All right. So now, if I have, do you see now on this line, because my principal payments are lower, how much I've got? $5,769.68 I would pay off in 1 year on this loan, in 1 year at the higher interest rate. $5,769.68 gets rid of 12 months worth of payments. $5,769.68. That's how much principal I would pay down in 1 year. But I don't have to pay it over 1 year, Kelly. Could I give it to the bank in 1 month if I wanted to? $5,769.68. Watch what happens at the lower interest rate when I give the bank $5,700. 5,000, about that much money only gets rid of 8 payments instead of 12 at the lower interest rate, because the principal payments are higher. A little over $5,000 only gets rid of 8 payments, when a little over $5,000 can get rid of 11 or 12 payments. Do you see what I mean by that, Kelly?
Yes, I do. I'm trying to follow you on your live, so that's why I'm trying to be in and out. But I'm
Oh, okay. Because you're doing it on one device, right?
yeah, because I'm in my room and I'm not by a computer, so I'm multitasking.
That's okay. I'll explain it to you. So here's what we've just done. Okay. At the higher interest rate, we just took $5,000 and eliminated 11 or 12 payments. At the lower interest rate, $5,000 only eliminates about 8 payments. That is the problem. So we get a lower interest rate, but our money, when we're trying to prepay or get rid of the loan faster, our money does less work for us at the lower interest rate. And guess who understands that? The people who own the bank, not the people that work in the bank. Because the people that own the bank don't teach the people who work in the bank this information. The people who own the bank understand it. And guess who else doesn't understand it? We don't understand it. Kelly, this is why we work so hard. This is why we work so hard to get the information out so people can know that they don't have to do this. And listen, it's a mindset shift. We're shifting mindsets. And this is why we've come here today, not just to talk about these numbers, but to tell you why it takes a mind shift to get there, a new mindset. And this is why we're holding the conference in May in Nashville, Tennessee. And I need to put this up on the screen here, folks. We're going to talk to you about how if you're in a mindset that says, you know what, I need a lower interest rate, I need that lower term, but to get a new mindset, to understand that, no, I need the right interest rate for my family, I need the right term for my family, then you can save thousands, hundreds of thousands. And listen, we've saved this one client almost $1 million in interest because he decided I need a new mindset. And in May 20 through the 21st, folks, we have a conference coming up called Developing a Spiritual Money Mindset. Now we have a video, it's about a minute long. But I need you to kind of focus in here for just a second. Listen in. If you're on Clubhouse, listen in to what we're doing to get people to focus and to create a new mindset. Can we roll that video?
In these uncertain times, the pandemic is still fresh on our minds. Gas and food prices increasing, and talk of Web 3.0 and the metaverse delight some and strike terror in others. Entrepreneurs, once enthusiastic about the future, now question the calling on their life. Some will find answers online, others will turn to trends and fads, but the real solution is a change in mindset. Your mindset is a set of beliefs that shape how you make sense of the world and yourself. It influences how you think, feel, and behave in any given situation. If mindset shapes all that, then what influences mindset? Our answer: exposure. Exposure to a new environment. Exposure to experiences from those who have seen this before. Exposure to what works for those with proven track records that what they're doing is working. P.I.L.L Method Seminars presents Developing a Spiritual Money Mindset. 3 days at the Gaylord Opryland Resort in Nashville, Tennessee, where you'll be exposed to leaders in real estate, leaders in the metaverse, leaders in building a financial legacy. Expose yourself to the top motivational speaker in the world, Dr. Eric Thomas, in person. It's all happening May 20th through 22nd. Go to ice10kevents.com to purchase your ticket today.
And that's what we're going to be going over. And in fact, the word is getting out, and we're being the P.I.L.L method is being asked to come and partner with other clubs on Clubhouse right now. Okay, so if you love this, some of you have had the opportunity to visit Business Over Breakfast on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. They have a tremendous room. They're doing great stuff over there at Business Over Breakfast. For until until after the 20 after our conference, which runs from the 20th through the 22nd. We are going to be in the P.I.L.L method is actually going to be in Business Over Breakfast on Wednesdays. So we're going to be off on Wednesdays. Starting next Wednesday, we're going to be off. We're going to be working with Business Over Breakfast, and they're going to help us teach people how they can eliminate thousands upon thousands of dollars in debt. When they heard about what we're doing, they asked us, Don, can you come over and share this in Business Over Breakfast? And I said, well, we do have our own show. And they said, but please, can you, if you would do this, we'll also talk about your mind, your developing a spiritual money mindset to help people to understand why they need to be at your conference. If you would just bring your information and share with our tribe how interest cancellation works. And I said, yes, we will be there. So folks, that's where we're going to be for the next 3 or 4 Wednesdays until the conference. Listen, Business Over Breakfast, be there next week. And they're from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Central Time. And that would be 8 to 10 Eastern Time. Jared, back to you, sir.
So excited to see their audience understand what the P.I.L.L method brings and also understand what's happening in Nashville. So that's super exciting. So yeah, if everybody hasn't done so already, make sure you click that greenhouse at the top and follow the club, follow Don, follow all these moderators. We have about 33 minutes left, and we would love to get more questions from the audience. So if you have questions and you want to raise your hand, please go ahead and do so now. And you can ask about refinance. You can ask about 15-year versus 30-year versus 40. You can ask about car loans, student loan debt, or credit card debt. But we would love some interaction. We'd love for you to raise your hands. And thank you to the 28 people that have shared the room. If you haven't done so already, keep sharing the room so that somebody can catch these last 30 minutes and understand what is possible with the P.I.L.L method. All right. So want to check in with the person that is helped holding down the online space. Are there any online questions that are being asked that we can address?
So far, we don't have any questions. We do have one where I believe, if I'm pronouncing this wrong, forgive me. It was Gidget Smith asking if we could put the link to the conference in the chat. But other than that, it's just been a whole bunch of, hey, this is amazing, and that they're sharing the information with the folks.
All right, let me go ahead and put that link to the conference in the chat. SM Mindset.com. There we go.
And we go, Ice. Are you there?
I'm here.
So where are we now?
Listen, man, we just went through why we need a mindset shift to understand what we're doing, so that when we go to Nashville next month. Yeah, when we go to Nashville next month, and we'll also announce that we're going to be off for the next few Wednesdays until the conference, because we're partnering with Business Over Breakfast. That's
There
right.
we go. So first of all, we're not going to be off, guys. Don't let Don lie to you. We're going to be presented from the Business Over Breakfast.
Yes.
So for everyone who had a sad moment thinking they would not be seen Don on a Wednesday, I apologize. Don will be visible in the Business Over Breakfast room, guys. And the community love what he's doing so much that they have invited him over there Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday every week until the conference is here. So if you're available, definitely come to Business Over Breakfast on Wednesdays instead of the usual P.I.L.L method room, and you'll be able to get the information and much more right in that room.
And
Listen to that, guys.
listen,
Sorry, what's that, Don?
we're going to have opportunities to broadcast live online from there as well. So we're still going to be in Clubhouse. We're still going to be simulcasting during those times as well. So you'll still be able to see us online, folks.
There we go. And also, Don, in addition to that, this mindset that's coming up, the event that's coming up is going to be amazing, guys. As I mentioned, the events of your life is what's going to determine whether you live a good life, an average life, or an okay life. I would suggest you get involved in the things that's going to absolutely increase the value of your life. And by doing so, go to these events that's going to add value. Go to these events that will put you in proximity with individuals that you want to network with. And that's what a spiritual money mindset will be doing for you. So for all of those who got your tickets, congratulations. For those who haven't gotten your ticket as well, as yet, just go to ice10ktickets.com, ice10ktickets.com, and get yourself a copy. Everyone to get a ticket for the event, guys, just send me a link, send me a receipt of your link, sorry, of your purchase receipt, and I'm going to add you to the networking card that we are now creating for the event. So everyone that purchased a ticket, I'm going to add you onto the networking card for the conference. So when you go there, you're going to be amongst the greatest that will be in the room presenting and those VIP and invited guests. With that said, Captain Don, back to you, my brother.
All right, listen, folks. I just put it in the chat for some people. I've got smmindset.com in the chat. I'm also putting in ice10k.com. There is also a button on my digital card for tickets to the event. So, folks, we're going to be listen. This is going to be a fabulous opportunity for two clubs to come together and get this information out. So for the next 3 or 4 weeks, we're going to be in business over breakfast all 3 days, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. It's going to be fabulous as we bring this information to their community. All right. Anything else going on? Jared, what's up?
Oh, actually, Jason had a question in the chat, and I wanted to ask your follow-up question to the previous example. That'll probably help. Basically, get some clarification and maybe.
Yeah, we're having a hard time hearing you, Jared. So I'll take over for just a second. Jason, how are you, sir?
Fabulous. Thank you for answering, taking my question. You were going kind of fast. I was just like the other young lady on the platform. I was trying to keep up with the YouTube live and the and on the clubhouse, and I actually had to drop the clubhouse. But my question regarding your what you were sharing regarding the low interest rate and the high interest rate, are you paying the 5K? Are you paying the 5K as a whole up front in order to get down to line 10? Or how are you explaining that?
All right, great. That's a very good question. Now, what we're talking about is what would happen if you did that. We're not asking you to do that. We're just saying, what if you did do that? Can we get that clear first? Jason?
Yes.
Okay, so listen, so yeah, if you decided, now we're looking at $5,769.68. Now, if we pay that monthly, we can get there if we pay 12 monthly installments, but we're doing that monthly, but only we're doing that with only $400 payments. And after 12 months, it adds up to $5,769.68. Follow me so far?
Yes, but you're speaking. You've broken down the monthly payment as far as the principal payment, which is the 400 side, correct?
Right.
Okay, so so initially you're still saying you would be paying under normal circumstances you would be paying a full monthly payment, but because we're looking at it from the principal side, if you could, are you saying if you pay 10 principal payments, it would take you down to the line 10
Yes.
of the monthly payment schedule? Is that what am I correct?
That's exactly what we're saying, because you do not have to pay it in 12 monthly installments. Because if you paid it in monthly installments, guess what? You also have to give the bank $1,700 and $1,600 interest payments to go along with it.
Yes. Okay, so my additional question, if I may,
Sure.
is I just refinanced and I posed the same question is to the mortgage.
Uh-oh.
Basically
Uh-oh.
how I know they don't want to know that anyway, or they're not teaching. I heard you earlier. They're not teaching them how to explain this to customers. So the bank knows it, but they're not teaching the people in the front office how to share this one. But my question is still valid.
Go ahead.
So do you are you taking the four principal payments and paying them directly to interest, or do you say, hey, um, the additional question is, do you look at the four? Because I think you said that you gave the interest amount.
Right. So what we're looking at is principal payments. Okay. Principal payments pay down the mortgage. Interest payments are just rent on your
That's
money.
right. That's right.
Okay.
So okay, so if you're paying the interest, if you the bank does the bank have to receive your 10 principal payments up front and receive them as principal payments?
That is a good question. Can
You
I
see what I'm
ask you?
saying?
Can I ask
Yeah.
you? Can I ask you another question?
Yes.
All right. So in this case, these folks owe 309 after their first payment, they owe $399,530.38. You follow me so far?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
What if their long lost uncle, they said, okay, a lawyer shows up at the door, your long lost uncle
Left you some money.
left you some money, okay?
Yes, I get it.
Like $5 million. So you decided, we just made one payment on this mortgage, right?
Yes.
What if we decided to stroke the bank a check for $399,530.38?
You just gave a whole lot of money away.
Would they receive it?
Oh yeah. Okay, you answered my question. You answered my question. Yes. Yes, because you don't. That's the money that you pay on the end. That's what the scheduling is all about. They're just showing you how much. Because the mortgage is like 3 times the amount that you borrow. If I'm understanding this correctly, so basically, you answer my question. Basically, all you got to do is just tell them, hey, I'm making this set amount of money, which I've already looked at the schedule, and I know the amount.
Right.
And I'm putting this towards my principal, which automatically moves me down to line 10. Using your example, moves me down to line 10.
Mm-hmm.
I cut off all that interest from line 1 to line 10 is what you just shared with us today.
Exactly. Now, don't go and ask your banker about this because they don't understand it.
Right. I got you.
Okay. I've had that happen. People have come to the class, they got all excited, went to the bank, and somebody who's sitting there says, "Oh no, you can't do that." And who did they believe?
They're gonna believe the bank.
Exactly. The person who has not been taught how to understand how an amortization schedule works. And they're going to keep paying that interest.
But it's so weird because I just asked that. This is a fresh new mortgage.
Yep.
And I just asked that question yesterday. I said, man, I asked him, I said, if I make 2 payments, how do you view it? Do you view it as me paying a month in advance, or what? She said, yes, we view it as a month in advance. And then the flip side, I asked him, I said, if I just give you principal only payment, she said, yes, you can make a principal only payment.
Yes.
That's really what we're talking about here, because like you said, to pay the interest, you're paying for rent, and if you pay for the principal, you're paying down
the mortgage.
The mortgage that you bought, the amount of money that you bought, which is the mortgage.
Exactly. So now we're going to give you a little gift this morning because you have come with this question. You said you got a brand new mortgage here, let you refinance, correct?
Yes.
All right. So I just can I put some basic numbers in here for that?
Yeah. I also went on your platform and filled out, because I actually wanted to see how you guys, what you guys would suggest as far as me paying off, because I'm looking at maybe the 7-year program that you're making mention of today.
Okay.
And so yes, go ahead, ask the way. I'll try to answer.
All right. So your new loan, about how much is your new loan?
Let's just say 270.
270. All right. So I'm putting in 270. What is the your new interest rate?
The new interest rate is 2.225.
2.25. Okay. And so let's see here. We're going to calculate that. Your principal and interest payment, this the principal and interest is $1,032.06. That's just the principal and interest. Let me ask you another question. Do you have any idea what you paid in closing costs?
Man, it was a larger number that I wanted to pay. I think I probably paid when it was all said and done, I probably paid maybe somewhere between 14 and 19,000.
Listen, I've heard that, and it happens that way. I've heard that before, but here's the thing. Your payment is now, because you paid that, your payment is now lower than it was before, correct?
Yes.
Okay, now let me ask you this. I'm going to take a look at let's take the $14,000 first, because you actually paid your loan down to a certain amount, then refinanced it, and then they add another $14,000 in. Did they roll that into the loan, or did you pay that out of pocket?
Yes, you're correct. The first one, they rolled it into the loan.
Rolled it into the loan. So you would have to pay off the first $14,000 first to get back down to your original payment, right?
Yep, because I think the original amount borrowed might have been, the lesser. Let's just round it off and say 15,000.
Let's say 15,000. So if we take $15,000 off of that, that would,
270.
yeah, that would be what, 255?
Okay, that'll work. Yeah, let's go with that.
Yeah, 255. Okay. So you were down to 255, and then it says, okay, let's get you this new low interest rate and get a brand new mortgage, get your payment down, but it's going to take you back up to 270 because of the 15 grand. Okay. All right. So now let's pay back the first 15 grand. Are you ready?
Yes.
At the new low interest rate. In the first year on this mortgage, you pay down this loan by $6,375.19.
Okay.
But that's $6,000 of the 15 grand. You're not even paying on the mortgage yet. You're just paying off the fees.
Okay.
Okay. In 1 year, you pay it down by $6,375.19. Guess how much interest you've paid already in 1 year?
Probably $12,000.
Well, it's not quite that, but it is $6,000, $6,009.53 in interest on a $6,300 loan. Because when you roll that fee into the mortgage, it's just another loan within a loan, correct?
That's a unique question. I wanted to say it was all one loan.
Right, but you borrowed the money is my point.
I think, yeah. I guess in my sense, I was thinking that they like fronted me the money.
Yeah.
To close.
No. They loaned you that money.
That's right.
Okay.
Okay.
So let us lend you $15,000. Okay. But you're thinking, man, my new low interest rate of 2.25, why not just roll it in? Because when they showed you the difference in payments, payments only went up by what, $2, $3, $4, $5. That's worth it. Let's just roll it in. Yeah. Okay. So now in 2 years, that's 24 payments. You pay this loan down by $12,000. So in 2 years, all you're doing is paying back what?
Borrow money. They get their money up front.
Exactly. So they've got their money because you borrowed the money. So in 2 years, you've paid back $12,895.30. You've already paid $11,874.14 in interest.
And very, very little in principal.
Well, I'm talking about we haven't paid anything on the mortgage yet. You're just paying back the fees.
Exactly.
In 2 years. All right. It takes 28 months. 28 months just to pay off the of the $15,000 and get you back down to the $255,000 you had when you started the whole process.
Right.
28 months.
Wow.
And $13,796.23. So it actually, your refinance didn't cost 15,000. It cost 28, almost $29,000. So since you have this loan, how quickly now do you want to pay off that 15 grand so you don't have to give them nearly 100% interest on it?
Man, I would like to pay it off in the first 12 months.
There you go. Save you some money, right?
Yes, absolutely.
That's the first thing we're going to talk about once we get your information and my staff looks at your submission. You've already submitted your information to us.
Yes, I did.
That's the first thing I want you to remind me of. I just refinanced. You went over this with me, and we need to get rid of this $15,000 quick, fast, in a hurry. Okay. Now, I'm not advocating this. This is not the way that we're going to do it, but I just need people to understand the difference between interest rate and interest cost. Can I put up another example of this and try this out?
All right, let's go for it.
Okay. Let's just say you have a credit card that's 15% interest. Okay. 15% interest, and you take and you can get $15,000 off that credit card at 15% interest. Would it make sense to take that 15% money and apply it to this loan so you can knock off that $15,000 in 1 month? Would it make sense to do that?
Yes.
Oh, really? So why would it make sense?
Because you're borrowing. The amount of money that you're borrowing, you're gonna make that money more valuable paying down the interest than just borrowing back on the loan.
So you're saying to borrow the money at 15% from your credit card, it's going to cost you less money than the interest you're going to save if you put it on the mortgage.
Over the long, I think, because it sounds like to me what you're saying is, people used to go out and have a mortgage. They would go out and get a second mortgage, and because the interest rates on the second mortgages were a lot better, they would use that money to pay extra payments to the mortgage and beat the mortgage.
Right. So it's an arbitrage move. If we could take somebody else's money, even if it's at a higher interest rate because you have the lower principal, the interest cost is less.
Yep.
And by using that money, you could save yourself about $13,000 instantly, where the bank would charge you, let's see, 15, that's 1,500, about, you can do that. You can pay it off with less than $2,000 interest. $2,000 interest can save you $13,000 in interest on this mortgage. Is that a good trade?
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Say that one more time so it can sink in. Oh my God.
I don't care how you do it. Find a way to pay off that loan, because you're not paying 2% interest on that fee. So if you borrow $15,000 and you pay back $13,000 in interest, that's almost 100%. You're at 98% interest on that $15,000 loan.
And so let me ask you this.
Yes.
So I was listening to how you were explaining things earlier, or maybe I was reading and listening at the same time.
Yep.
Help me out, because I might have been ahead of you, or I might have been listening to you. But it sounded like to me, if you had like a 401k or something of that nature, say instead of borrowing the money, if you had like a 401k that you could take the money out and pay that money towards what you're talking about. You feel what I'm saying? Hey, I'm trying to work this thing, Doc.
Come on, brother.
I'm trying to work this thing, man. Hey, this is all about getting out. This is all about return early. You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to make the money work for you, not you work for the money. So
listen, we can go. There are a lot of different strategies that we can employ so that you can use your money in a more efficient way, so it costs you a lot less interest. So when you do the math, when you start to do the math, it starts to make sense, doesn't it?
Yes, yes.
Listen, bro. So whatever you're doing, now I can tell you this. Once we take a look at your situation, you may not have to borrow any money based on what you're already making. But those options are still open to us if we need to do that.
Very understood. Understood.
Okay. So our first option is that what can we do with our income? How powerful is our income already? Most people are totally unaware of how powerful their income is in eliminating interest on these loans. That's what we're going to do. That's how we're going to do this first. Is say, how can we use our income to save all this interest? Now, here's the next thing I want people to realize. What actually lowers the payment on
Come on, Doc. Come on, I'm waiting for this.
what actually lowers the payment when you refinance?
I don't know. That's what
How many years were you in your other loan before you refinanced?
Oh, I got that's an excellent question. Actually, I was literally almost paid off. You know, really, the mortgage was almost paid off.
Oh, so you took some cash out.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Well, we're not going to get into all the reasons why, but here's the thing. The reason why the payment gets lower is not mainly because of the new low interest rate. It's taking what you owe and dividing it by a new 360 payments. That's what actually lowers the mortgage payment, not the new interest rate. The new interest rate actually makes it harder to pay the loan off faster.
Exactly.
Yeah, because your principal payment is higher.
The principal payment, not only the principal payment higher, but like you said, you borrow the closing costs.
Yes.
So it's essentially what they try to tell you is no closing costs. You really getting whacked over the head for being a dummy. But
right. Now here's what I also want to tell you. That the interest rate that you have,
yes,
that 2.25,
okay,
that's not a natural interest rate.
It's weird. Yeah.
You know why your closing costs were so high?
No, shut it.
Because you actually bought that interest rate.
Yes.
You paid points to get that new low interest rate.
I think I bought 1 point.
Yeah.
I don't think it was worth it.
Yeah, and now you know why we suggest never do that. In fact, I just had. Well, listen, based on what you've been taught, everybody does it that way, don't they? Listen, what do I have to do to get the lowest interest rate possible? But as soon as they get the lowest interest rate, they forget all about it and stop trying to work the loan to save additional money. They think that just because I got the lowest interest rate, that's all I need to do. We don't know what happens when we prepay a loan. So have you ever bought anything on sale before?
Oh, yeah. And they give you that 90-day clause.
All right. So you buy something on sale. Do they print at the bottom of the receipt how much money you saved by buying this thing on sale?
No.
What?
Oh, yes. To answer your question, yes. The savings of this sale.
Right. They put that on the receipt, don't they?
Yes.
Why do they do that?
Good question.
Yeah. How does that make you feel to know that you saved some money?
I mean, you was gonna buy it anyway. Just you got it at a better price.
Well, if I can get stuff at a better price, it makes me feel pretty good, right?
Yep. So you're gonna buy again.
Exactly. So you've paid extra on a loan before, haven't you?
Yes.
And you know you were saving time and you were saving money, correct?
Yes.
Did the bank print how much money you saved when you gave them that extra money?
No, I don't believe so.
No, they did not. So if your department store can do it, if your grocery store can do it, how come your bank doesn't tell you how much interest you saved? because you would be amazed at how much interest you saved with a relatively small amount of money. That part. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So this is why we make it clear. This is why we make it evident to everyone. This is how much interest you save when you do this, when you make the one move. And we make sure that whatever you do, you're paying the right amount of money, so you're saving the most amount of interest per dollar. Jason, we're at the end of our time. I want to thank you for bringing that question to the stage. You helped out a lot of people today.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
All right, man. So what state do you live in, sir?
Indiana.
Indiana. All right. So listen, I need you to think about coming to our conference in May in Nashville. So just, hop on 65 and come on down to Nashville.
No problem.
All right, man. Listen, we're going to see it. So go up to get our link up at the top. ice10k.com, ice10klive.com. We've got the developing a spiritual money mindset up there right now. But if you go there, it'll take you straight to the conference. Take a look at our lineup of speakers. We've got a fantastic keynote speaker, Eric Thomas, the ET, the hip hop preacher, is going to be there talking about mindset, the best mindset coach on the planet right now. And I'm so glad that you were here today. Thank you very much. Jared, back to you, sir. Let's do the outros.
Don, can you hear me okay?
Barely. You're coming in a little stronger now.
Well, hey, moderators, let's do an outro real quick. So, Credit Goddess, are you around? We'd like to start with you, and then we'll come back.
Yes, I am. Hey, everyone. Sorry about that. My name is Rosalora Lewis, also known as Credit Goddess. I am all things credit, credit score improvement strategist, business credit consultant, and the official credit expert for the P.I.L.L Method crew. Thank you guys so much for being here, although I was tardy to the party. But if anyone is interested in my services, you guys can definitely tap in, text your name and email address to the number in my bio, 888-557-5778. A link will be sent to you where you can book your consultation, whether you want consultation on business credit, personal credit. I have those services. Let's speak on it. Let's improve your credit so that way you can gain access to other people's money. Good credit is the key. So thank you guys so much for having me here, and we'll see you on Sunday.
All right. Coffee Brown, are you in the building? All right, she's typically with students at the moment, but definitely check in with Coffee Brown. Check out her profile. She does a lot of amazing content on Clubhouse, off of Clubhouse. So make sure to tap in with her. Bam, are you around?
Bam needs to get his iPhone. Get her that Google Pixel or whatever phone he has. He's talking, we can't hear him.
Bam, we can't hear you, man.
Bam, go back to your iPhone. Stop making it hard for yourself. Hey guys, while my Jegna is struggling with communicating his message, let me communicate it for you. This is Bam.eco. We are one of the companies out there. All right, that's my buddy Bam, guys. If you're in business and you're not marked in with, okay, let me see if he's back on. Bam, can you?
Yeah, okay, I see your modulation.
We got you, brother. We got you, Bam.
All right, so here we go, you all. Thank you so much, 10K, for stepping in and step up. So here's what I want everybody in the room to do. Please hit my Bam and then go down to my Instagram. You don't have to go far. And that's going to take you to my 10kbam.com. Click that. And top right where you see text BAM to that number, you don't have to even think about that number. Just hit that one, put BAM as your message, and hit send. Let me say that one more time for those who are moving a little slow. What I want you to do is hit my BAM. And then after you hit my BAM, then go down to my Instagram. At the top of my Instagram, let me say this is a plug for 10K cards, you guys. All of us, including Elon Musk, we get one link on our Instagram, Why put just your company? Why not put all the things that you do so it'll help you to make some more money while you sleep? So hit my 10kbam.com. That's taking you into my 10K card, top right. Just hit that one where it says text BAM to that number. Hit that and just put in BAM and hit send. That's going to give you all the information you need to know about how to make more money. I'm Brian Franklin, and I approve that message, and I'm done speaking. BAM.
All right, 10K, are you in the building?
Man, how you expect me to follow something like that? What's wrong with you, man? Come on, Jared. Hey, guys. Founder and CEO of 10K Cards, and our goal is very simple: to make sure each professional and business owner out there is communicating exactly the message they want to communicate about their company. So instead of someone having to go to Google, Yahoo, and all these other search engines to find you, it's better for you to put everything all in one place, and that is known as your 10K card. The good news, while you're in this room, when you get a copy of Bam's book, of Don's book, and you fill out your savings and earnings report, you're gonna get a 10K card that's already paid for by Bam.e. Okay, Bam, you're confusing me. That's already paid for by Don. So, guys, get a copy of this book, send us the receipt, and claim your 10K card. Because at the end of the day, going out there telling everyone you do every day can be exhausting. But if you have a card to do that for you, that makes life so much more interesting. And then all you have to focus on is introducing yourself to others and let the card do the rest for you. So with that said, my brother Jared and Don, back to you.
Hey, 10K, what about the 10K challenge, man?
No, I'm not trying to distract the audience. You know, Don, I don't want to come to Don's room and tell people how to make $10,000 in 21 days. Bam. Bam, you know what they can do that $10,000? You know they can put it towards their mortgage, especially if they go to 10K in 21 days.com. So, Bam, what I didn't want to tell them is that we have a challenge going on right now that they can also be promoting the P.I.L.L method, and that's in the 10K in 21 day challenge room. And if they simply go to 10k21.com, they'll find out more about it. So don't ask me to do that in Don's room, okay? Don, back to you, my brother.
All right.
All right. So I'll be quick. I put in instructions of how you get your 10K card once you purchase the book. So go into the chat and go ahead and follow those instructions, and you'll be able to get your 10K card. Basically, just screenshot the receipt, go to the ice10klive.com, go to step 3, get your 10K card, upload your receipt, and upload your information. Also, want to implore everybody to check out the link up top and go to the upper left-hand corner and check out the tickets for Spiritual Mindset conference that'll be happening on May 20th to the 22nd. I'll be there. There'll be 17 other amazing speakers. We'll be at the Gaylord. We'll all be hanging out at the pool, networking, sharing resources, and then a lot of great speakers, including Dr. Eric Thomas. So definitely look forward to seeing you in Nashville. We'll be back in the P.I.L.L method on Sunday at 8:30 a.m. Eastern time, and we look forward to seeing you there. Click the greenhouse at the top, follow the club. Make sure you're following Don, following 10K Coffee, Credit Goddess, and BAM. And if you want to check me out, feel free to give me a follow as well. Check out my replays, check out my Instagram, my Twitter, and my LinkedIn, and look forward to seeing you on Sunday. All right, back to you, Dom.
All right, folks, listen, we're glad that you were here today. And I'm excited about the collaborations that we're doing now because of, and you've heard of Business Over Breakfast, is on every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday on Clubhouse. They have a fantastic room. They're doing great work over there. They've asked us to come in and teach about the P.I.L.L method for the next 4 weeks on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So you won't find us in this spot for the next 4 Wednesdays. You will find us over in Business Over Breakfast Club. We're still going to be teaching. We're still going to be putting information out there. You'll still be able to see us online, but we're going to be in a different club for the next 4 weeks. They were so excited about bringing us over, and they said even more, we're going to promote developing a spiritual money mindset to their entire tribe for the next 4 weeks, just so that we can come in and teach these concepts to the Business Over Breakfast crew. Listen, it's going to be so exciting to get these to do these collaborations. Folks, we don't have to compete. We just need to collaborate. That's what we're talking about. And so the last thing we're going to hear, we're going to be back here on Sunday, but I want Dr. Eric Thomas to take us out today, and then we're going to go right into our outro music. So, folks, thank you again for being here. I'm excited of what's coming up, and I want to see your face in the place in Nashville, but we're going to be right back here Sunday morning. Dr. Eric Thomas, what do you have to say to us as we go out?
This is an opportunity of a lifetime. Your grandma counting on you to do the right thing. Your mama counting on you. Your cousins, your brothers and sisters are counting on you to cash in on this opportunity. Everybody want to be a beast until it's time to do what beasts do. There are kids that don't get what they don't eat like you eat. They're at the same university. They don't get what you get. But with this right here and your skill set, this thing can take you wherever you want to go and then take your kids wherever you want them to go. You know how many people would die to have the gear y'all got? You know how many people would die to get on these planes and travel the world? You know how many people would die to have your life? And you got it. Let's go. You got money, but do you got that dog? Yeah, you got money, you got privilege, but do you got that dog? Do you got that stamina? So yeah, you might have something I don't have right now, but if I work hard, I can have what you have. I want you to chant it out. This is it. Be phenomenal or be forgotten. 1, 2, 3. Be phenomenal, be forgotten. 1, 2, 3. Be phenomenal, be forgotten. Last time. 1, 2, 3. Be phenomenal, be forgotten.